I'm Trey Cawthorn. This is Kyle Crafton. What is your role in your company?
Well, I work for Landstar Transportation. I'm a freight broker. Basically meaning what I do is, if a company wants to haul a freight from California to Florida, what they'll do is call me and we'll send out Landstar trucks, being flatbed vans, anything to that degree, and we'll go pick it up. We'll do the logistics on it, basically the pickup times and the delivery times, so we keep the customer happy.
Kyle, what suppliers do you contact, and how much contact do you have with them throughout the process?
Contact's one of the major issues is when you're handling other people's freight, okay? I send the trucks out there, so as far as like daily, I mean, I start at 6:30 in the morning and it's daily communication. If I have a pickup at 8 o'clock, if it's loaded at 8:30, I'll call my customer, tell them it's loaded at 8:30, it's on the road, and I usually give them, if it's a 4-day transit, I'll give them a day-to-day analysis of how many miles they ran and where they're going to.
You said you use trucking. Do you use any other forms of transportation?
Well, you can use rail, which is trains. We don't have a lot of them that do that through Landstar Transportation. Most of ours are through flatbed division, step deck division, van division. But as far as the other, most of ours are trucking. It's basically trucking. But we do have a process that we can put it on a rail, but we usually don't do that, which is the railroad.
What kind of time frames do you expect?
Well, that varies. Okay, so if I have a flatbed picking up in Fort Smith, Arkansas, needing to go to Oklahoma, that's a 1-day transit. But if I have a van picking up in California, going all the way to Florida, a load of produce, obviously you're gonna need a 4 or 5-day transit. So what we do is we'll get on the computer here, calculate the miles, and the time frame, how legally they can run a day-to-day operation, then they have to shut down. So they run legally throughout the, United States. So that varies depending on what load you're picking up, where you're picking up, and where you're delivering it to.
How long does the product stay in your warehouses?
Well, once again, depending on what product you're moving, like if it's steel, if it's wire, it can stay up to 30 days, 45 days, even a year at that time. But if it's produce, if we're hauling oranges out of Florida and they have to go to Georgia or North Carolina or to Maine or to Chicago, then they're on a time-sensitive basis because obviously they'll spoil. So every product is different, and that's what you have to realize. If it's a time-sensitive product like vegetables or produce or fruit, things like that, then you got to get there on a timely basis.
What retailers do you transport for, and what kind of products do you mainly transport?
Mainly for me, I transport like steel, wire, and basically it's out of Beckle Corporation. Now I do have, especially during like the holiday season, I run a lot of FedEx stuff, and basically the mail. All right, because obviously during Christmas, they'll have a lot of mail, Dear Santa and all these things. So a lot of them will run on that during the Christmas time, which that's a seasonal product. Obviously, we're not going to run that through February through March, April, May, June, or July. But during Christmas time, we'll run those on a van and help FedEx out on that. But most of my time is spent, 85% of it is spent hauling fencing, wire fencing or chain link fencing, stuff like that. The warehouse is in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and we haul it all over the country.
How does your company provide good customer service, and how important is that in your industry?
Important, that is our industry. If you don't have that client or that customer service, if you hadn't built that relationship up, you can forget it. When I first went into Beckart and did a pitch for them to try to earn their business, that was my #1 goal, to get foot in the door. Now, when I had to have a driver there at 8 o'clock, I need to have him there at 7:30 to keep that customer service up, that, hey, they want to use Landstar to transport their product, that's how you gain as far as referrals. If they say, hey, Kyle did a great on logistics, he had his truck there 30 minutes before, and he had it there a day early as far as delivery. So that's how you gain. As far as communication, that's the main key in this product. And as far as this business goes, if you see, this is how many trucks we have on the road right now, okay? It can be, and these can be traveling a 2-day transit, a 4-day transit, whether it be a 1-day transit, anything. And it'll show where you pick up. Like this one's going to Saskatchewan, Canada, okay? So that one picked up 2 days ago. That one will deliver in 4 days because it's going all the way up there. So, and this may be a different, as far as like, and once they're delivered, then they will call me, I will call the customer, say your product is safely delivered, and then I will close it out of our system. This is my go-to. If I didn't have this, there's no way I could keep up how many trucks we have on the road, there's no doubt. But these are ones I have on the road as we speak right now. But as far as communication goes, that's the number one in our business you have to have, or you'll lose your customer.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right, hope I answered all your questions.
I hope so.